Welcome to this tutorial video. I am Christos from InfraWeb, and in this video we're going to see how you can manage your Dockerized applications via our KuberDock control panel. Once you purchase your application, which you can do by go to our application hosting page and scroll down, and here you can see the available applications we have. You will go through the process, and once everything is ready, then you have to go to our control, to our client area, and from the tab services you will see that you have a monthly doc account available. As you can see here, the pricing is 0. That is why that means that you don't have to pay unless you have an active pod or container for your Dockerized apps. That is why that when you go and you order a new service, you go to the Dockerized Cloud Applications here, you'll see that the price is 0. Only once you activate a kube for a pod or a container, you will be charged for the corresponding amount, depending on, of course, what kind of the type of kube you have selected. Here you can see the amounts. For example, one kube here of high memory, that's the name of the kube, has 0.25 cores and 256 megabytes of RAM and 3 GB of storage. The double memory has 0.25 512, and the 1/2 memory has 0.25 384. These are just informations about the cubes available for your pods and containers. Now, in order to access your control panel, you have to go to My Services. Here you will see that you have available a monthly doc. You click on the monthly doc, and here you can see all the available pods that you have created with the available applications, and also the public IPs assigned to you. I will explain further once we log in KuberDock. I will show you about how the public IP system works here. So in order to log into the KuberDock, let's go. You have to log in here, log into KuberDock, and here you can see from a first look the pods that you have active. Here we have a TeamSpeak pod and a WordPress pod. Here you can see the public IPs available. As you can see here, this is a private network addressing. This is because our cloud infrastructure is in a private network. But each private IP, is mapped via NAT to a direct NAT to a public IP. It corresponds to public IP. You can find a list. 10.1.3.12 corresponds to public IP, which you can find all the full list in our knowledge base. And the next menu, persistent volume. Here you can see all the active persistent volumes that you have for every container. So let's go back to the pods and let's explore a bit the pods. Here you can add a new pod by selecting, and then you can pull an image either via Docker Hub or a private repository. Name it, and then you go through the process. You will pull the image inside your new container. And here we have the list of active pods that they are running, or running status. Here there's a quick menu that you can start your pod, you can stop it, or you can delete it. Keep in mind that never delete a pod unless you want to cancel a service and you don't want to pay for it. Because if you delete a pod and then you try to create it again, the system will charge you, excuse me, for the new pod. You can manipulate though the containers inside. You can delete containers inside the pod. As you can see here, now we go inside. The pod is part of containers. So you can manipulate the containers from the edit menu here. And here you can either delete a container or add more containers. And that way, if you keep the amount of resources the same, you will never charge for more resources. As you can see here, you can add. We have 2 active containers, one for WordPress, one for MySQL. And these are the amount of cubes. We talked earlier about the cubes. You see, and you can start adding cubes. As you can see here, the numbers are changing. As you can see now, as I'm adding cubes, more cores and more RAM are added to the pod, and they are assigned to this container. By editing a container with the edit button next here, you can play with the available open ports and also with the persistent volumes. You can add new volumes, specifying mount points here. And for example, I will give this is, for example, this is a mount point. And then I can select, I have to give a name, data, for example, new, and then give it like 5 GB of disk. These amounts here are in gigabytes. So whatever you press here, for example, forgive me here, so every number you put here, it will be in gigabytes. So you can press now next, and you are ready, and you will be charged here with an additional cost since you entered more persistent gigabyte disk. Let's delete that, we don't need it, so there's no additional charge here. Okay, let's go back to the pods. Inside here you can see stats for your pod, CPU usage, memory usage, and network usage. And you can also see that you have SSH access. SSH access means that you have a SSH connection inside your container, in its active container, and from here you can copy the path, and then you can copy the clipboard, the password to your clipboard. Make sure that you have a look in our knowledge base, because as we explained, the public IPs are in private addressing. So in order to access these containers from your computers, you will have to change and put the public IP. In our knowledge base, you will find all the corresponding how the private IPs correspond to public IP. So pretty much this is it. Please have a look around. Remember that you can create for free access to this control panel, and you will be only charged for your active pods and resources. Thank you for watching.